in the UK. Their coal comes from, in order of percentage of the coal that was burnt in 2017, from America, the UK, Colombia and Russia. These are the main countries that supply coal to all of the power stations in the UK. But Drax Power Stations is one of the biggest consumers of British mined coal. At the moment, I'm part of the Pont Valley protection camp. We're stopping a new open cast coal mine from being started in County Durham. Banks Mining Group have been trying to mine at this site since April. No, that's not true. They've been trying to start to mine at this site since March, and we've been directly stopping them with a protection camp on the road, immediately next to where they want to build an access road so that they can trigger planning permission. They have to trigger planning permission by the 3rd of June or it lapses. This is one last dash for coal. Banks Group were told that they couldn't mine at Druridge Bay by Sajid Javid, Secretary of State for Communities and Local Government. Banks Group are appealing that decision, but they're also chasing for this last bit of coal at Bradley. It's a 500,000 tonne site. It's not a lot of coal. However, for the people who live 300 metres away from this site, it is everything. The local community grew up on this site. They walk their dogs, they build camps, they get to escape from the stresses of normal life by being on this site. The land is a mosaic of habitats where there are great crested newts, a European protected species. I spent 24 hours in the valley and then compared it to 4 days in the Peak District. 24 hours in this valley will have you seeing great crested newts, in my case. Nobody else will see them. Smooth newts, also very beautiful, a bit more beautiful than great crested newts, to be honest. Kestrels, buzzards, red kite, badgers, foxes, hares, and there's lots of things that people easily ignore in the rough grazing that's there, and it's rough grazing because it has been neglected apparently. That makes it much more ecologically diverse than if it had been fertilised a lot, but also because of the historic bell pits which create shallows for things like curlews and lapwings, ground nesting birds that are protected British species. The mining company intends to destroy all of this land, put huge plumes of coal smoke, coal dust into the atmosphere, and contribute to places like Drax, causing catastrophic climate change, and it has to be stopped. The local community have been filing applications on this site for over 30 years and are appealing to people to come and support the camp and support the campaign. We're writing to Sajid Javid, we're writing to the local council because they can stop this mine from progressing. Last Tuesday, we found a great crested newt. A 2 to 3 year old male great crested newt called Carol, who lives at Bradley. Banks Mining claim that there are no newts on the site. This is clearly a lie, there's loads of smooth newts. But it's clearly a lie because there's 30 years of evidence of great crested newts on this site. And it's acknowledged that this population is locally really important because there aren't any others. In 2007, UK Coal, who originally pursued this application, said that there was a medium population of great crested newts, and that required those newts to be translocated to new ponds, which they built. Banks Group, however, says that there aren't any, and they're ignoring that the ecologists are saying that maybe in 2017 they didn't find any on the site because the pond dried up. And the pond dried up, and that actually makes it a good habitat for great crested newts, because then the other species that live there, like fish, which compete for the ecological niche with great crested newts, die off. And what normally happens is that the great crested newts stay within the turf, they don't necessarily breed that year, and then this year there will be a bumper crop of endangered species, so it's vital that these animals are protected. So if you are interested, please look on Facebook for the campaign to protect Pont Valley, or look on the Coal Action Network website because we have updates of where the new camp is and ways in which people can help. This campaign is really important because it could be the opportunity, it is an opportunity for us to stop the last new open cast coal mine in the UK. Sajid Javid's decision not to allow mining at Druridge Bay is really important because it should set a precedent which will stop Miller Argent from starting a new coal mine at Nantlesk, immediately next to Fossifran in South Wales. And Banks Mining also have an application to mine at Julie Hill on the outskirts of Newcastle upon Tyne. This company is a problem. We have to stop mining banks. Drax power station also burn coal from the US, Russia and Colombia. At the end of last year, I was lucky enough to go to the Kuzbass mining region of Russia, which is in central southern Siberia. It's a really long way away, particularly if you go overland. To see those people, to live amongst them, and to see the problems that they're facing was heartbreaking. There are indigenous people, the Shore and the Telluride, and Russian people who live there as well. Irrelevant of which nationality or which group the people come from, their lives are completely blighted by coal. There's no work other than work that is associated with coal. The people who fight against the open cast coal mines work in the deep mines. The local people say that what they really want is all of the coal mining in their region to stop, but they don't think that's pragmatic. So instead what they're calling for is that other countries stop burning the coal that is devastating their communities. The coal means that people are reliant on jobs in a way that they weren't before. Historically, these people have been hunters and fishermen getting their own food and living off the land and in tune with the land. Now they are reliant on jobs which are degrading. Well, the jobs are specifically degrading the environment. There are no fish for them to hunt and for them to fish anymore. There's no wildlife. One of the local people says to me, now I farm coal apples. When you bite into the apples from my land, they are full of coal. The people talk of their herbal medicines and their food and their traditional ways of life being completely depleted, and that they now have to buy in food from supermarkets in a way that they never used to. The indigenous people have been persecuted for a really long time. They've been persecuted throughout the communist era, but this is an escalation, and it is to supply places like Drax Power Station, and that is wrong. The Coal Action Network and FIRM, who work on forestry issues in the EU, are releasing a report about the Kuzbass region of Russia next week. So keep an eye out for that. So in summary, Drax Power Station are the biggest consumer of coal. They are pushing ahead with bringing coal from places like the Kuzbass region, where we know that the human rights and ecological conditions are horrendous. And places like this, burning more coal is contributing to places like Bradley getting destroyed within our own country. There has recently, as in the last few days, been 72 hours where coal has not contributed at all to the electricity system. We don't need coal and we don't need biomass in order to heat our homes and run our businesses. What we need is a sustainable way of life. We need to insulate our homes, we need to reduce our energy consumption. We don't need to burn more fossil fuels or trees. Thanks.
Thank you.